Hey, this is Paul Anthony from Ink Different. Thanks for stopping by. Today, check out my interview with Shamain Hardy in New Haven, Connecticut. She started out as an apprentice. She found us first in Brooklyn, then she moved to New Haven, and we were there too. Check it out. Okay, so here we are with now a artist spotlight with Shamain Hardy.
Hi.
Last time we had an apprentice spotlight, and now we have an artist spotlight. Amazing. So cool. So cool. I'm so glad that we can make the time. And I'm so glad that you're a full-fledged artist.
Yay, I'm excited.
It's great.
Oh, it's so exciting.
It is. And I remember from the times that we've spoken about your path, you found Ink Different in 2013.
Yes, I did.
Right? So now it's 2024. So for anybody who didn't see the apprentice spotlight, remind us of your path to getting into an apprenticeship and then, of course, now becoming a full-fledged tattoo artist.
Brooklyn, walking down the street, saw the sign, Tattoo Apprentice, walk-in information. I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. I walk inside. It's a table full of people. Everyone was so engaged in what this person was saying. And I realized what he was saying, and the apprenticeship, you're going to be working with people, you're going to be drawing a lot. But this was when everything was on paper. There was no tablets, or the computer wasn't all the rage yet, but for the tattooing. So once I started that apprenticeship, I really loved drawing. It got me into trying to turn my illustrations into tattoos, which was, hard. But my instructor, he was telling me, just draw natural, draw how you draw and incorporate that in a tattoo and people will love it. So from that moment on, it's what brought me back. Was it 2022? Yeah. So I've always wanted to do it. I saw you guys were in Connecticut. I'm like, yes, finally. So
it's amazing. It's amazing. It's outstanding. And I believe that this was the first tattoo shop that we had in Brooklyn, the kind of small one, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that was on Graham Avenue. And your instructor at the time was it Martin Dare? Or who was your instructor? Do you remember
his name?
Okay.
I remember what he looks like. He's like a redhead with glasses.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. That's Martin.
Right.
Yeah, he's totally a red haired guy. Yeah, for sure. And so he is. And so he was running that location. And then he went out to Los Angeles and opened our Ink Different Los Angeles. Okay. And today he owns OK Tattoos, and he works with us in LA as an affiliate. So he's still with us. And he's a great dude. He really, really is. He's a very calm in the patience that he has, and excited about tattooing, but then also very patient when he's helping people learn how to tattoo.
Yeah, he had the sage and the whole vibe of the shop. And that gave me the idea of, here, like what people like, what they like to smell. Like smell is very important when you walk in.
Sure.
So, we try to keep it clean. And I feel like I got that from the Brooklyn shop.
Interesting.
And to transfer it over, because everything that I know is from everyone from Ink Different. So
super cool. And then, and then whenever I'm talking to people about New Haven, I'm like, Shamain is amazing. Like totally. I mean, you and Brandon, right, who we were interviewing before, I think, it's just wonderful that I know that you really get it. Like when a client comes in, I've heard you talk about saying no to somebody who wants a face tattoo, saying no to somebody who's, 18 years old and wants to get tattooed on their wrist. Like you care about the client sometimes more than they are thinking about the long-term consequences of what they might want to get tattooed on their neck, face, or knuckles, right? And that just takes a special person, to look at the bigger picture versus like, oh, I'm going to make some money right now.
Yeah. Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Brandon about that. And we want people to leave with something they're going to love for the rest of their life. And we want it to be good, want it to visually tell the world who you are just by this little piece of your skin, and tag us so that we can share it, share our talents with everyone else.
Yeah.
So.
Which lanes of design are really kind of calling to you right now? Like what kind of stuff are you doing?
I'm really liking the the minimal but more fine line kind of tattoos, but no black and just color. Like those are the ones that I'm just like, all right, I kind of want to try that. But then there's an opposite spectrum where it's all black and like just negative space and a little bit of color. So I'm bouncing.
Gotcha. So for people who are in an apprenticeship and are pulling their hair out, share with us how you got past some of those moments and kept most of your hair.
Taking breaks, knowing when you're tired, and just try to keep up with yourself and not get lost in all the new things that are happening, because you're getting excited. You want to draw, you want to be in the shop, but you have to kind of pause, look at everything first, and then act, because you don't want to make a mistake on your first client. You don't want just a little thing, nick yourself. Like anything small, not to overthink, but just think forward. If that makes sense.
Yes, and like be thoughtful.
Yeah.
And it sounds like think forward, keep the longer game in mind, keep
exactly.
your longer path and progress, in mind. What machine are you using today?
I have 2 Dragon Hawks, and the pink one I'm using, I really like it. But I really want to use the ones that you guys make.
Okay,
so
the Mass Archer ones.
I can't wait to open that package.
Cool. Yeah, this was actually done with that.
Oh, okay.
So Gabe did this in Miami, and he just used the one machine the whole time.
Okay.
And it took like 2.5 hours. I mean, he was flying.
I love the timer on it. Did his?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And it's I think it's wonderful the way technology has progressed in this space, right? I mean, so we started this 13 years ago, right? So I've been in the business a little bit longer than that. And I remember, working at the front desk in Jersey City with people coming in and haggling about tattoos. And we never thought people would pay like $1,000 for a tattoo. And everything was also, coil machines. Everything was that kind of, bend the needle and do all that work. And today we're in a place where, I was with an artist the other week, and he's like, yeah, I'm $2,000 a day.
Yeah,
and his work is amazing. And, that's definitely something to aspire to. If somebody wants to do that, I mean, everybody can have their own path. I'm so excited to be in this industry, in this space, in this time right now, right? Where the acceptance of tattooing is just way more, than it was,
absolutely.
10, 15 years ago. Have you tattooed people that it was their first tattoo? Have you tattooed people who maybe are later in life that are all of a sudden becoming open to tattoos? Like what is your client? What have some been your clients that you've had that have been a bit of a surprise?
I do have older clients, and their love for tattoos was amazing to me. I really don't see older women or men in shops, so it's really interesting to see how they're like looking around, and they're very interested on how you do it, and how you come up with your designs, and is it gonna hurt? And I'm like, yes, trying to explain it to them and make them comfortable. So those clients are the most important to me, because they've grew up in a different time period where tattoos were not acceptable, but now they're just like, I wish we had this when I was younger, and this place is so cool and inviting, and so those are my favorite. I have had some first timers, and they took it really well, like better than I would ever expect, like wrists, or I had someone get this here, but I don't know if it might have been her second. So I'm like, you're bold for getting your second tattoo in your neck. But it was cool. So
that's great. It's such a special thing to connect with people, right? In that space, it's something we talk about often on the podcast as well, is that, we're not in a competition, right? Tattooing is not a competition. It's an opportunity to connect.
Absolutely.
Has anybody ever just kind of broke down crying, just sharing their life story or anything? What were some of your most like memorable client experiences?
Oh man, I've had a few. I have a lot of clients that like to pour their hearts out, and get tattooed. But then I had one girl come in and her pain tolerance was very low, but she wasn't like squirming. She just kept doing the vomit noise, like the what. And someone else was getting tattooed next to her. And they're like, please stop, you're gonna make me throw up. And I was like, please.
That was
don't.
her response to the pain, was
Yes.
to make that sound.
Yeah.
What were some of the larger pieces that you've done?
I recently did a pair of wings with 23 on a chest.
Fully across the chest.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was really cool. The client, he didn't really want to go too crazy with it, so I kept it as simple as possible, or simple where he was comfortable. And then I did a cover up on the back of an arm. That one was a challenge. What
were you covering up?
It was kind of like a strawberry, or it looked like a strawberry heart with, I don't even really know what it was.
A little bit of like a
supposed to
DIY kind of tattoo they got?
No, they actually got it at a shop. And the guy, he did it too dark and it wasn't where she wanted it. It was kind of... So I was happy that she came in to get the cover up, because what she got is what she loved. It was the flowers from where she used to live and flowers from her favorite place. So that was a very special piece. Took me a while to design it, but it was worth it. 100% worth it.
And the chest, that was all black and gray?
Yes.
Of the wings? Okay, cool. You know, I was just thinking about, on my way up here, what you had to navigate recently in people pretending to be artists that worked at our shop, right? So it's a kind of an interesting warning for everyone out there.
Yeah.
Apparently this is going on. So remind me of what was happening there.
So we were getting hits on Instagram for like random people just reaching out, and then random people started coming in, and it was more of a face-to-face with Brandon, but he happily shared the stories with me of people coming in expecting to get a tattoo. And we're just like, I've never sent you a message. I don't know who you are. I don't know why you're here. And it was it sounded like an awkward situation, but it seemed to work out. You know, we're here. We're not them. You can come in and get service.
Right, because somebody on basically Facebook, right, was pretending that they worked here, and then we're trying to get a deposit.
Yeah.
Right. And so I guess it's just a warning for everyone, right? Like, talk to your tattoo artist. Because somebody was pretending to be tattoo artists. Two people were pretending to be tattoo artists that worked here that didn't work here. Right. And then asking people for a deposit.
Yeah.
And never speaking to them. Right. It's so interesting, especially given that what we talk about here is get your prospective client on the phone. Right, is to not live in the DM box, right? Because it's not good for relationships, right? So it's, some stuff that we've always talked about, right? Is that if somebody's like, hey, I want to talk about this, he's like, get them on the phone. Okay. Clients, it's a good idea too. Yeah. Get your artist on the phone, right? Because if they're asking you for a deposit and you've never spoken to them, it's possible they don't even work at Ink Different or whatever studio they're representing.
Yeah, and that's why it was really important for me and Brandon to show ourselves like on social media and tag every Ink Different post that we have, so that people know it's just two of us here and we work together and we're happy to work with you, and come in.
Right. And that you are the artist, whoever, Kevin Bacon Smith, Tommy Bobby is, or whatever that person is, doesn't actually work. Yeah, it's just very, very interesting.
It is.
I mean, the tattoo industry is growing so much that you got the pros and you got the questions, about it all. So what are you doing right now to develop your clientele? What kinds of things are you finding that's working?
Right now, I'm just trying to draw as much as I can, create flash. So when people do walk in, they can see what we have to offer. I'm putting those, like the cards, the business cards, the Ink Different cards, everywhere I go, I'm bringing them. I'm writing my name. I'm writing Brandon's name. Everywhere I go, I'm bringing them. So I feel like that helps a lot, like with followers for me. I'm not too sure about like the sharing and like coming in physically, but just people knowing that we're here helps.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
And right, so you're mixing the physical and digital world.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I do.
Yeah. I think that's really important as well, that people don't get stuck just in the digital world.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if we didn't have Instagram, right? If we didn't have all these digital tools, my question to a lot of people would be like, how would you build your clients?
Exactly.
You know, and so what if Instagram goes down for a week?
Yeah, I always think of that. Like, what if all the power just goes, you know, what are we going to do?
Right.
So I've always used pen and paper. I love hand drawing. I would prefer to use paper for, you know, all of my work, but it's just so much easier and clean on digital.
You're taking advantage of the physical world as well as the digital, which I think is really, really important. There's just nothing like being in a relationship with people, actually, you know, getting to know them. What's your Instagram? How can people find you?
Shamain Hardy.
Shamain Hardy.
Yes.
So you have the Shamain Hardy. No one else had it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's at Shamain Hardy.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And that's how people can reach out to you. They can connect with you. Yes. They can say, I got this idea. What kind of stuff would you prefer to do like in the next couple of months? Like if somebody's like, I want to get tattooed by Shamain, what kinds of designs are you going to be looking to advocate that people get tattooed by you?
Right now, I'm really into the stickers. I love to do the stickers. Then maybe attempt the patches, the fine lines. I'm open to literally anything. Like I want to do everything. The only thing that I'm not confident with is portraiture. So once I learn everything else, then I will indulge in that. So if you come to me with a weird idea, I will definitely do it for you.
Awesome. Super cool. For somebody who's just starting out, wanting to become a tattoo artist, right? What kind of advice would you give somebody who's just starting to get that bug?
I would just say stay humble, because with myself, I had to look at my work, see what I'm capable of, and not compare myself to others, but also recognize myself. Like, you're doing this. This is what you want. Do it.
Right. So, so be humble, right?
Yes,
and have
humble.
the confidence in the path that you're pursuing.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So it's a mix of being confident that there's a long-term outcome here, and then the humility to really kind of walk down the road and take it step by step.
Pretty much. Because if you go too fast, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to burn yourself out. You're going to be like, oh, this is not for me. When really all you needed to do was slow down. That's all you needed to do.
Take it one step at a time.
Yep.
Well, I think it's amazing that you have stuck with the journey and that you're here now, right? And that you tattoo people and you make money doing that, right?
Yeah.
And it's just to know that it started as an aspiration 10 years ago, and you went through being a responsible adult or whatever, and then still get your cake and get to eat it too, right? Is that you have those experiences, nothing wrong with that kind of education, but yet now, you know, you have options and you're pursuing what you want to do in life.
Yes.
I think that's awesome. You know, and that's part of what inspires me here all the time is, you know, to give anybody the opportunity to make a living from their art. It's just super cool.
Yeah.
You know, and you're showing that it's possible, and you stuck with it, and now you tattoo people and they pay you for it.
Yeah.
Amazing. So thank you for showing everyone that it's possible.
No problem.
Shamain Hardy. His Instagram is at Shamain Hardy, right?
Yes.
Get tattooed by her in New Haven. Thanks, everyone. Happy tattooing.
Bye.
Awesome.
Oh, that was so...
Remember, if you like what we're doing, follow, share, and subscribe.
And if you really like what we're doing, please give us a 5-star review. It really helps.